There we go. There's some people.
Ready. Here,
Volume still sound good?
yeah, we'll do a little.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to skip
Oh, are we live? I think we're live. What's up, everybody? How we doing out there? How many people we got out there? Look at the shirt. Represent. Because I'm an adult who's also a little kid at heart. Okay, I see some faces out there. I see some familiars. I appreciate you guys showing up. Thank you for showing out tonight. How's the volume? Chat, let me know.
Yeah, sounds good.
Volume good? Give me a little thumbs up in the chat if the volume sounds good.
You're good to go.
All right, cool. Well, little delayed, but here we are. We're ready to rock. What's up, everybody? How is everyone doing out there tonight? I appreciate you guys showing up. Today we are going to open up some TMNT. Very good, very solid. Okay, cool. We're gonna open up some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collector boxes. First, I guess allow me to introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. My name is Ian, and I have a YouTube channel, Wildcat MTG. We do box openings. We do a little MTG finance here and there, discuss, and you know, I play limited mostly. I do play Magic, mostly draft, a little bit of sealed, a little bit of modern. I do dabble in standard, and then getting into pre-modern more. So really enjoy it, and then of course Commander as well, right? So how this came about, Many Realms, they're friends of the channel. They help sponsor and support my channel. And when TMNT was announced, I reached out to Hassan and I was like, Hassan, please let me open up some boxes for you guys. And there was a lot more begging in there, but it was all very dignified, I promise. And so the team at Many Realms was gracious enough to allow me to host tonight. And what we're going to do, a little bit about our format tonight, is we're gonna do 2 collector box openings of TMNT. And how this thing is going to work is we have pre-release coming up this weekend, and each one of the Many Realms locations does pre-release where they do these little side quests. And they also we're going to end up using all of the contents from these boxes. Each one is going to go to a different location, and all of the contents are going to be used as potential prize support for pre-release weekend. So I know that I am excited. I will be running out there and playing in a bunch of pre-release events. And the sky's the limit. That means if we pull a fractured foil tonight, it goes towards the prize support. If we pull a headliner tonight, on the very slim chance that we do that, it will also be. I might have to resist ending the stream and just running out with the headliner, but beyond that, as long as I can resist that urge, it will also be used as prize support as well. All right, just taking a look over here. What do we got going on? The bread knife. It's so funny. I was telling the guys here at Many Realms as we were setting up the stream, I was like, this is going to be so weird for the people that normally tune into my channel. When I started my channel several years ago, I didn't have a whole lot of ambitions as far as where it was going, so I just took a kitchen knife from the kitchen. And so Knifey has become a mainstay, a recurring character on my channel. No Knifey tonight. We have, I guess, a big boy toy here, so we'll be opening that. And then for those of you out there who are less familiar with me and my style, tonight is gonna be about enjoying the product. I'm a huge fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I grew up watching the cartoon. I told my significant other that I was doing research last night, and I made her watch the first 1990 live action movie. I don't think she hated it, but regardless, she bared with me. She was a good soldier about it. So did that, and I watched, then after that I watched The Secret of the Ooze. So I've watched the cartoons. I had all the action figures. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, huge portion of my childhood. So my style is when it is pre-release week, I don't really get into pricing too much. For me, it's more about just opening this, kind of getting a feel for what the contents of the packs are. Obviously, hopefully we pull some great stuff, but I don't really get into pricing too much. And I do like to slow roll through these. For me, this is kind of about enjoying the opening experience, getting the layout of the packs, getting to experience what's inside. So that's how we roll here. We're gonna have a good time. We got 2 box openings, again, 1 for each location. Let me take a look over here. What do we got going on, chat? I'm doing 3 pre-releases on the same day. That's just Friday. I literally took the day off so I could play in 3 pre-releases, and then I might come back for seconds on Saturday. The shirt is a dead giveaway. Pack opening addict, you are not wrong, my friend. All right, cool. Time for some turtle soup. Let's do this. All right, we're gonna get into box opening number 1 here. Oh boy. TMNT. Okay. Let's throw this off to the side. Oh yeah, by the way, this is my first ever live stream. Most of the stuff I do is all pre-recorded, so this is my first ever live stream. So if I'm terrible at it, it's Hassan's fault, and you should blame him for inviting me to be here. And if I'm not terrible, then it was all my idea. I don't know, we'll just do that, right? All right, 12 packs of goodness. Let's do this first box. We'll do this for the hub. We'll do this for the hub. So all of this stuff, if you play it at a pre-release at the hub, this will be potential prize support there. It'll all go there. These are things that you could feasibly walk away with. All right. I'm hype. I know, like, a lot of people are maybe like, I think it's open, like, the greater debate of, like, universes beyond, right? Like, versus in-universe sets. And Spider-Man maybe left some of us with a not-so-great taste in our mouth, but I gotta be honest, I don't see, me having previewed this set, I don't look at TMNT the same way. I think that this set, and there's probably some bias involved, admittedly, but I think this is a better set than Spider-Man. I think there's some really good cards in this set. All right, here we go. So again, we're gonna kind of slow roll through the first couple of packs here, go through the commons and the uncommons, set them off to the side, and then as we get to the juicier stuff, once we kind of figure it out, thank you guys, appreciate you guys. Team Many Realms, I appreciate you both, gents. All right, so, and then on the, so you guys can see the top-down camera. If I get any of the good stuff and we get some really good hits in there, I'll make sure that I showcase them to the main stage here. These are, are these collector boxes US printed or Japanese printed? That is a great question. Well, these say made in USA. USA. All right. We start off with a foot headquarters. So this is one of the you know, the dual lands that comes into play tapped, gain a life, right? So used for mana fixing. All right, Mouser Foundry. Actually, as far as a common is concerned, this is not a bad little common. Artifact enters or leaves the battlefield, create a 1/1 colorless robot artifact creature token, and then pay 5 and sacrifice this artifact, deals 3 damage to a target. So a 2-drop artifact that creates a body on enters and on leaves. Some good value there. All right, Rocksteady Crash Courser. 6 for 7/7, so there's a whole 4 cycling thing in here. Can't be blocked by more than 1 creature, and then boards you control can't be blocked by more than 1 creature because, of course, our boy Bebop is going to be in there as well, complementing. They kind of sort of complement each other. I'm going to guess Bebop is probably black. Putrid Pals. 4 for 3/3, the hybrid. Death Touch, all right, disappears. When this creature enters with 2 1/1 counters on it, if a permanent left the battlefield under your control this turn. Ooh, hey, neat. So we got our first, this is one of the scene cards. This is uncommon. I'll kind of show that off there. Really cool scene card. You guys should be able to see that. All right. Scene card uncommon, Foot Ninjas, neat. Turtle Lair is up next as an uncommon, so our first uncommon here. I'll throw those off to the side. Is Turtle Lair. Next up, Karai, Future of the Foot. Lessons from Life. I think this is a genuinely good uncommon, like potentially constructed playable. It's a 4-mana sorcery, draw 3 cards. Back in my day, we just called that Harmonize, but there's more. You may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield tap, so being able to get additional value out of it by being able to draw 3 cards and then ramping while doing so, I think there's some chances. It's also in the right colors, right? It's Simic, it's blue-green, so it's in a color combination that already likes to ramp and do that thing anyway. All right. Uncommon from the Commander set, we have a Soul Ring. So we have a bunch of commons, then we have a couple uncommons, right? And then we have a pull from the Commander slot, which I think this is going to be common, uncommon, although I think you can get Surge foils in here. If I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken. Might be non-foil. And our first of the lands is the Pizza Lands. Listen, I know that there's a lot of talk about the Pizza Lands and whether people like them or not. Most people think they're hideous. and they're not wrong. These lands are in fact hideous, and I cannot wait to use them as my draft kit lands. If my opponent has to sit across the table and look at these ridiculous looking lands, no regrets. Aramebas need to fly. Sweet Simic, gross. No, we're Rakdos or Grixis around here. All right, so we got our swampland, which means after we get to our swampland, we're going to start getting the good hits in the pack. We are going to start off with a traditional foil rare Kitsune Dragon's Daughter. So 6 for 6/6 vigilance. Whenever Kitsune enters or deals combat damage to a player, you may exchange control of 2 other target creatures controlled by different players. Interesting card. Next up, we have a rares non-foil. This is Shell Shock. So this is a commander slot card, Shell Shock. I'm told this is anatomically correct for turtles. I'm not sure if that's actually correct or not. For each opponent, choose up to 1 target creature that player controls. Shell Shock deals X damage to each of those creatures. You create a mutagen token for each creature dealt damage this way. I actually think this card's pretty solid. Okay. Next up. Oh, the Sewer Treatment Splinter Radical Rat. So this is 3. It's 1 colorless and 2 hybrid meta, Orzhov hybrid, black-white. It's 2/4. If an ability of a ninja creature you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. So Panharmonicon for ninjas. And then for 1 blue and 1 colorless, target ninja can't be blocked this turn. And for me, as far as a showcase treatment is concerned, I really enjoy the Sewer Treatment. I guess we're probably not totally shocked by that given my love of TMNT. But I think the Sewer Treatments look really good. So non-foil Sewer Treatment, Splinter Radical Rat. Next up, Mythic is from our source material is Ronin's Arsenal, which is Conqueror's Flail. This is a non-foil. So the deal with the source materials is there's 20 of them in the set. In each collector pack, you're going to get 1. There's a source material slot in here. 3 of them, it's a 75% chance they are non-foil and 25% chance that they are foil. So on average, you're going to about 3 per box that are going to be foil source materials. And as I mentioned, there's only 20 source materials. And as you go through the source material list, they're largely bangers. Like they are all, I would say all of them. There's a couple of like Path to Exiles, a little whatever, but I think that one of the things that sets this set apart from, say, Spider-Man is that the source is absolutely stacked. There's a lot of really good stuff in here. So this is Ronin's Arsenal, which is Conqueror's Flail, which is a solid card. Not going to be one of our big hits. Last card of this first pack here. It is. Oh, okay, cool. So it's a scene card, Donatello Gadget Master. This is the rared version of Donatello. Each one of the turtles is going to get their own uncommon. They're going to get their own uncommon, rare, and mythic version. So this is the rare version of Donatello. And then we got an art card, which I guess art cards are kind of a thing now because they only come in collector packs and they don't come in every pack. All right, let me do some basic sorting here, get some piles established. I definitely want to see the source materials. Not sure I care about some of this other stuff. Solid pack number 1. Sewer Treatment does look great, right? 100% better than Spider-Man. Hard agree. Like, again, I think if you take some of the Universes Beyond set stuff and the in-universe set and you just kind of set aside maybe some of the bias there, like, you know, TMNT, we'll see what the limited environment looks like. I'll be the first one to say I'm not like a huge fan of pick 2 draft. So there's that. But, you know, other than that, I think the set itself looks really good. All right, let's get into pack number 2. Okay. Got Make Your Move, Purple Dragon Punks, TCRI building, another one of the mana fixers. Frog Butler, sure, why not? Frog Butler is basically like the we had this basically, right? It was like a Toad thing from another set, maybe Bloomborough or whatever. Next up, Mutant Town Musicians, Mutant Bard Performer. Is that the first time we've had a Mutant Bard Performer Magic card? Next up, first of our uncommons is Janika's Technique. This is an interesting one. So Sneak is a really cool mechanic. It's Ninjutsu, but there's this subtle difference, right? So it is very much, it has to be a creature that is declared unblocked, but you have to use Sneak before damage is dealt. So Ninjutsu, one of the combat tricks you could do with it is you could have that creature that was unblocked deal its damage, and then while you're still in combat, then ninjutsu the creature back in. With sneak, it has to be done after blockers are declared, but before damage is dealt. But it's essentially a 1-mana Pyroclasm, which is an interesting combat trick to have. West Wind Avatar. 7 for a 7/7 Trample. Cat Spear Avatar. Speaking my language, right? When this creature enters or attacks, you may sacrifice a token or a land. If you do, gain 3 life. Disappear. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent left the battlefield under your control this turn, draw a card. As an uncommon, 7 for a 7/7. Like 7 is obviously a lot of mana, but 7 for a 7/7 Trample that has value and then has residual value as far as drawing cards for basically if a permanent leaves the battlefield. Easy trigger there. I think this is a very strong uncommon. All right, next up, we've got another uncommon, looks like another uncommon scene card here in Michelangelo Mutant BFF. And I really like the Turtle Kids art, like the scene art. I think that looks pretty good. All right, so we got a couple of cool scene arts already. That's kind of neat. What am I going to do? I'm going to put my lands over there. Still fiddling with things. All right. Marauding Mutagen. Oh, it's a Surge Foil. So our commander slot is an uncommon. And I'm going to try and show off. Hopefully, you guys can see some of that Surge Foil and kind of pop through there. So we had an uncommon from the commander deck that is a Marauding Mutagen, which is Acidic Slime. It's a reskin. And a classic Magic card, but in the Surge Foil. God, would have been really cool if they had that Soul Ring in a Surge Foil, right? All right, next up we have our land. Oh, another Pizza Land. Hey, all right. Pizza Land. The Island. All right, so now we're going to get into our hits. First is a traditional foil rare is Transdimensional Bovine. 3 for a 0/4 flying. Add 2 mana of any color. I don't know. That feels... It's a weird card to begin with, but also... I guess tapping for 2 mana is pretty good, but 2 mana of any one color, so you have to share... Has to be all the same color, right? I see Fallen Empires has made its way into the chat. Of course it has. All right, Transdimensional Bovine as our traditional foil rare. Next up, we have Smoldering Marsh from the commander slot, or as a commander card. Not necessarily a dedicated commander slot. I think there's other stuff that could pop up in there, but little mountain swamp action. Sure. Next up, Turtle Van. Extended art, non-foil Turtle Van. 3 for a 4/4 vehicle. When this vehicle attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on this target creature, on the target creature that crewed it this turn. Then if that creature is a mutant, ninja, or turtle, double the number of +1/+1 counters on it. Crew 1. I really wish that it was 2 to cast, but maybe that's, I don't think it's OP. Like, I don't know what vehicles are OP per se. But the fact that it puts a +1/+1 counter on the creature that crewed it and then that doubles that counters can make a 1/1 counter strategy actually really insane very quickly. All right, next up. Ooh, it's the source material. Hey, it's Undercity Sewers. That's a pretty good one. So the only Surveil land reprinted from Murders at Karlov Manor is Undercity Sewers as part of the bonus sheet. It does obviously fit very thematically. This is a non-foil version. But I think that's a really good hit. Like, I would take that all day long. What is obviously we're not, I don't know what the price of this one will be when the price settles, but I know that the Undercity Sewers from MKM's, like base copies, are still, what, 20 bucks? All right, last hit of this second pack here. We have a Mythic. It is a Broadcast Takeover, and this is a Showcase Foil Mythic Broadcast Takeover. Gain control of all artifacts your opponents control until end of turn. Untap them. They gain haste until end of turn. There you go. Pretty sweet. Not bad, not bad. All right, so we're going to throw our Mythics there. Put my source material here. Throw my extended art down here. And we are rolling right along. I'm a pile freak. All right, what do we got going on? Set of the year, Murders Karlov Manor. Said no one ever. And yet, MKM greater than Spider-Man. Probably fair and true. All right, let's get into the next pack here. We'll start flying through the commons and uncommons a little bit more. I just kind of like to showcase the layout of the pack so that, if you're considering buying some packs for yourself, you have an idea of what comes where in the pack. I haven't shown off the tokens. I guess I could do that. I don't know. Some of the tokens look cool. All right. Pack number 3, Anchovy and Bananas Pizza. It is, in fact, Bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Thank you, Gwen Stefani. Uneasy Ally. Alliance. Stockman. Madfly Scientist. Buzzbots. So what's really interesting, I will say this, as I said I wasn't going to stop on every common and uncommon, and yet here we are. If sneak is going to be an important mechanic, especially in, like, say, limited, then I think things like that are like 1-for-1 flyers or 2-for-1 flying vigilance. And then when this creature, dies, draw a card, like cheap creatures that have some level of evasion, whether it's like 1-for-1 Death Toucher or 1-for-1 flyer or 2-for-1 flyer with vigilance, I think are going to be really good creatures that that you need to be able to successfully sneak, right? Because otherwise, if there's a fear of sneak, that your opponent's more likely to block, but getting an early turn 1-1 flyer in there or a 1-1 Death Toucher that nobody wants to trade down with in order to enable your sneak, I think cards like this might be really good playables there. Leonardo, Big Brother, the common version of Leonardo. Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go. As our uncommon here. Courier of the Comestibles, otherwise known as Pizza Delivery Boy, as our next uncommon. Karai's Technique. I don't think these are supposed to be like a scene card in every pack, and yet here we are. I think we're 3 for 3. Really cool sewer treatment on there. Sweet looking uncommon. The techniques are very interesting. Again, there's a plenty of sneak in the set, which is why I just made the comment I made about having good small creatures with evasion that you don't mind being able to having to recast for 1 or 2 mana. All right, our commander slot is a common Vibrant Landscape. And, we have a Surge Foil Rooftop Treatment Forest. Little forest action there. I'll do that. It's pretty cool. So I'll try to show off the Surge Foiling there. I know a lot of people really like the rooftop lands more than they like the pizza lands, which is, I get it. All right, let's get into some hits here. First rare mythic is a mythic. Traditional foil mythic, it is Michelangelo Improviser. Michelangelo is a 4 for a 4/4 sneak 4 as well. When Michelangelo deals combat damage to a player, you may put a creature card and or land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Yeah, not bad. Love me some Michelangelo. Michelangelo is my dude. That was my favorite turtle growing up. I know, I think Leonardo was probably another really popular one, but as Michelangelo is the fun-loving party dude guy, that was always my favorite turtle growing up. All right, next up, we have Dawn and Wrath Hard Science. I really like that they did a brothers combination for each one of the turtles. So this is Sewer Treatment non-foil, Dawn and Wrath Hard Science. Pretty good card, I think. Next up, Undergrowth Stadium, and that is a Surge Foil Undergrowth Stadium. So they really went all out. I think the commander decks for TMNT are a little bit more pricey than normal, but also they did not skimp. There's a lot of new original cards. I think like almost half the commander deck are new cards. And then they actually put some really good value in there by reprinting things like the Undergrowth Stadium and putting them in there. So Surge Foil Undergrowth Stadium is pretty sweet. All right, next up we have our source material. It is, Teleportation Circle, which I didn't realize is as pricey as it is. This is originally, I believe, from AFR, Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, and I think the base copy is like $15-16 or something like that. So who knows what the source material version will go through. And of course, I know the art from the arcade game, or from the NES game as well. Teleportation Circle, solid hit there. Still non-foil, so we haven't hit a foil from that slot yet. And then we conclude this pack with Savante Romero, Time's Exile, extended art foil, which is our Demon Wizard. 5 for a 4/4 trample. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Savante, and then you draw X cards and lose X life, where X is the number of counters on Savante. Interesting. So he triggers at least on the turn you cast him, provided you cast him first main phase, so you can get some immediate value out of him. Probably got to be careful about losing life, losing too much life there. We'll throw this down here as well. All right, into the next pack we go. Let me check on chat. I see some people that said Donatello was their dude. Some Leonardo fans out there. Is Raph definitely the oddball? Like, was Raph definitely like just a little bit too serious for us all as kids, and probably therefore underappreciated or less liked than the other three? Any Raph fans out there? All right. Let's get into our next pack here. We're going to start to fly through the commons and uncommons here. Retro Mutation, Omni Cheese Pizza. If you don't like pizza cards, I don't know what to tell you. This is probably not going to be the right set for you. There is a lot of pizza cards in the set. A lot of food. A lot of food. All right. Donatello Way with Machines as the uncommon version of Donatello. Next up, Featherbrain Filcher, which is very clearly a ripoff of the Pigeon from Spider-Man. Like, it's almost exactly the same card. I think one was a 1/1 and the other one's an 0/2. Otherwise, they basically do the exact same thing. So, you know, maybe not the most creative bird we've seen recently. This one is a bird mutant, though. So, you know, it's totally different. All right, next up. Oh, Donatello Way with Machines. This time as the kitty version of Donatello. And now we're going to hit our commander slot, which is Harmonize. We talked about a little bit about Harmonize. An oldie but a goodie. I mean, back in my day when 4 just drew 3 cards, you didn't get the extra land drop. Now you get extra land drops for your trouble. All right. Pizza lands. We have hit a lot of pizza lands. I don't think they're all that common. That's cool. All right. There's our forest pizza land. All right. Rares and mythics. Here we go. First is traditional foil. It is a rare. It is Dawn and Wrath Hard Science. We just saw one of those in the sewer treatment. This is in the traditional foil. Next up is a double-sided card. We have Double Jump and Flying Kick. It is actually a fuse card. So I'm going to try and show this off here because you can actually play both sides of the card because it is a fuse card, which I actually think is a pretty neat card. I like that we had a fuse card in the set as well. Next up is Armagon Future Shark. I think Armagon might actually be a pretty good card. So it's expensive. 8 for a 9/6, but it's got Flash. And then when Armagon enters, destroy up to 3 target creatures. So you get targeted removal out of it. And then because it's got Flash, you know, you can actually do it during, you know, after your opponent attacks and before you declare blocks. So it is a way to essentially 4 for 1 an opponent potentially. Obviously, you have to have 8 mana, but you know, there's also ways to cheat it into play. Many of you know this about myself. My favorite thing to do is reanimate things from the graveyard. That is absolutely up my alley. So for me to bin in Armagon and then pull it out and destroy 3 of my opponent's creatures, that's very possibly something I might end up doing. All right, that was extended art non-foil. Now I believe ours our source material. It is a foil. Ooh, it's Brainstorm. Beautiful. This Brainstorm is really, really cool looking. I know Brainstorm's probably not going to be one of the bigger hits, but looking at the foiling, it looks absolutely awesome. Like, it looks really good in person too. I think this legit might be my favorite Brainstorm. So our first source material, that is a foil. And last hit of this pack is a Turtles Forever Extended Art foil as well, which is very much an homage to all the mediums of Turtle that we had. And then we have an art card, Mike and Don Party Planners. Solid pack there. All right. If y'all are having a good time out there, and again, I appreciate y'all just showing up for this and hanging out. Do me a favor, be sure to hit that like button for us. It really does kind of let me know that I was on the right track. Again, this is my first live stream ever, so if you guys are having a good time out there, show some love. Let me know that I'm doing a good job. Otherwise, keep your comments to yourself. I don't need to hear it. All right, next pack. All right. April O'Neil, Zoo Escapees, make your move. Purple Dragon Punks. TCRI building, which is the mana fixing land. Uncommon Paramecia Colonyx. Well, that's a mouthful. All right, fair enough. Into Skateboard. I actually think Skateboard is actually a fairly good uncommon. Try and showcase off some of it. It's not like a hit or anything, but as far as like an uncommon that is, I think, pretty good. 1 for a artifact. When this equipment enters, tap target permanent, so it kind of clears the way for an attack. And then equipped creature has +1/0 in haste, and it's just 1 to equip. I think it's a fairly solid equipment. All right, Brilliance Unleashed as our next uncommon. I think this card's pretty good as well. It does 5 damage to target creature. So it's a 6 mana sorcery, very expensive. But choose one or both. 5 damage to target creature. Choose target creature card in your graveyard. Return it to the battlefield if it's an artifact creature card. Otherwise, return it to the battlefield, and it's a 3/3 robot artifact creature with flying. So it's like, what is the gnarliest artifact creature that you can bin, that you can reanimate, and then while 2-for-1ing and killing one of your opponent's creatures? Pretty good. Thriving Grove. Nothing spectacular there as far as our commander uncommon/common is. A non-foil Thriving Grove. All right. Next up is, oh, it's a Surge Foil Pizza Land. Sweet. There's a Surge Foil Swamp. You see that? Pretty cool. Looks good. It looks really good. See what the curling factor is. I'll be curious to see what that looks like. All right. First rare or mythic from this is a traditional foil rare. It is Renette Temporal Apprentice. 5 for 4/3 flash. Renette enters. Return each other non-land permanent that entered this turn to its owner's hand. Oh, that's interesting. That's pretty mean. Nice little tempo play for sure. 5 mana is expensive, but still, at that point in the game, if your opponent's also dropping down significant creatures and you get to bounce it and while playing your own, it's not bad. Next up is Slash Clone. This is from the Commander deck, which is, it's Steelbane Hydra. It's a reskin of Steelbane Hydra, which is a very good card. So we got Slash Clone. Casey Jones Vigilante. I think this card is potentially actually really good, and I appreciate that it's the original art style for Casey Jones in this sewer treatment. I'll show it off here. It's a non-foil. I don't necessarily think it's going to end up being like a value hit per se, but I think Casey Jones, the Vigilante card, is actually legit, like, playable. 4/3, when Casey Jones enters, draw 3 cards at the beginning of your next upkeep, discard 3 cards at random. So draw 3, and then you have to discard 3 at random during your next upkeep. But there's some ways around that, whether you're playing Madness cards, whether you're just playing a lot of like low to the ground lightning bolts and burn spells, where you're just like, I'm just going to play the 3 cards and I'm not going to have 3 cards to discard, so it doesn't matter. Another thing is, it is an upkeep trigger. It does happen regardless of whether Casey is on the battlefield. So if you draw 3 cards and then you remove your own Casey Jones, the effect of having to discard 3 cards afterwards is still there. So you can't cheat that, so to speak, right? But I think Casey Jones is actually a really good card. I don't know. I'll be interested to see if it sees play, but red wanting to draw cards is not the worst thing. And again, the random thing can be potentially brutal, but I don't know. I think this is a real card. All right, next card is our source material. It is Umezawa's Jite. I think this is a really cool reprint. At some point, I feel like this is going to get unbanned in Modern. And if so, then Jite is a real card again. I'm really happy to see it as a reprint, though. This is one of the reprints I think is actually pretty cool. All right, last card of this pack. We have a Sewer Treatment Krang Mastermind. Krang is 8 mana, 1/4, but he has affinity for artifacts. And when Krang enters, if you have fewer than 4 cards in hand, draw cards equal to the difference. Krang gets +1 on offense for each other artifact you control. So we have a foil Sewer Treatment Krang, which again looks pretty good. The Sewer Treatment, I am really impressed with. I think it looks really good, foil and non-foil alike. All right. Yeah, I'll throw Krang over there. Why not? Why not? All right, so last pack of the first half of box number 1. Moving right along here. So this box, again, is going to be used as prize support this weekend at pre-release for the hub. That's what I think I said. This box is for the hub. Feels like we're a little light on mythics right now. We have 2, and then of course, not really counting the source materials because you're getting 1 in each pack. Let's check on chat here. Oh boy. I see some of the usual suspects out there being troublemakers, and I'm here for all of it. All right, here we go. What I really want to pull is a Krang, the Utrom Warlord. That and Super Shredder, I think, are like going to be insane hits. Here we go. Shredder's Revenge, Mechanized Ninja Cavalry, Illegitimate Business, Mutant Chain Reaction, Donatello Turtle Techie as the common version of Donatello. Uncommon is Hard One Jite, Equip creature has double strike, 2 and just 2 to equip. That's fairly cost effective to give something double strike. It's such a powerful keyword. Next up, Baxter Stockman. Baxter Stockman, the uncommon. 5 for a 3/3. When enters, create a 1/1 colorless robot artifact creature token, and then at the beginning of combat on your turn, target artifact creature you control gets +3, gains first strike and vigilance until end of turn. Not a bad little uncommon there. All right, next up, another scene card. This is April, Reporter of the Weird. And I'm such a fan of these scene cards. I think they all look really, really good. Even as the uncommons, whether it's the baby turtles or the mutants, I think there's 3 different scenes that you can put together. So there's a lot of scene cards. All right, next up, Command Tower. Of course, a staple of every Commander deck is Command Tower. This one in the Surge Foil version. Not bad. Surge Foil Command Tower is cool. And then another Pizza Land. I feel like our Pizza Land hits have been bigger than our rooftops. And I can't remember what the percentage breakdown is. But there's a mountain. All right. First rare is Weathermaker. Traditional Foil Weathermaker. Solid rare. Into Fast Forward from Commander. This is kind of a good card. 5 mana sorcery. A little expensive. But the spell costs 1 less for each artifact, for each opponent you attack this turn. And then it goads all creatures your opponents control. So just create all that chaos and you can get a discount on it. Next up, what do we have? It is, Splinter the Mentor. Very cool. So, Splinter the Mentor, this is from Commander. This is 2 for 2/2 Menace. Legendary creature, Mutant, Ninja Rat, of course. Menace. It's got Menace. Whenever Splinter or another non-token creature you control leaves the battlefield, create a mutagen token. And then it's got Partner. So it's got Partner, which is very specific to this particular IP because it's character select. So you can partner it with any of the other characters that have character select as partner. And I think this is going to be really neat. I think it adds a lot of versatility to the Commander deck for Turtles. I am excited to actually pick up a couple of those and definitely crack one open and play with it. So next up, I think is our source material. It is Cytoplast Manipulator, non-foil Cytoplast Manipulator. And we conclude this pack with a Mutagen Man Living Ooze. Mutagen Man extended art foil. It's 2 for a 2/3 with X in the casting cost. It's trample, and then activated abilities of artifact tokens you control cost 1 less to activate. It doesn't say minimum of 1, by the way, so you can bring the activations of artifacts all the way down to 0, which is big. It makes action. So, and then the rest of it is when Mutagen Man enters, create X mutagen tokens. So you can activate all the mutagen tokens for free and also get a discount on activated abilities of your other artifacts. I think it's a solid card. All right, and then a mutagen token. All right, that was our first half of the box. First half of box 1. Let's get into the second half. Haven't really talked about some of the big hits out there, so I would expect that in one of these boxes, we should expect to see 1 Japanese foil showcase per box, and some of those are, I think they all look really good, but there are some real bangers there. If we get really, really lucky, a fractured foil as a Japanese foil showcase, and then the pixel art cards are I think one of the other, aside from the headliner, which headliners are basically like serial numbered cards, right? But aside from that aspect, the other one, I think the other big chase, and they look really, really cool, are the pixel art cards. They come only in Surge Foil, if I'm not mistaken, but the hit rate percentage of them is about 1.9%. So roughly 1 in every a little bit more than 4 boxes. The fractured foils, I think, break down to about 1 in every 8 collector boxes, maybe just a little bit more, which is crazy. So those are the big hits that we're chasing. Would love to see us pull one of those out of one of these boxes tonight. All right, Dimension Next to Land. Guac and Marshmallow Pizza, because why not? Stomped by the Foot. Negate. Into Janika Bad Apple Big Sister as one of our next scene cards. This one is a common. Venus Torn Between Worlds. General Trag Heart of Stone as an uncommon. Pizza Face Gastromancer. 5 for 2/4. When Pizza Face enters, create a food token. Disappear at the beginning of your end step. If a permanent left the battlefield under your control this turn, put 3/1/1 counters up to 1 other target artifact or creature. If it isn't a creature, it becomes a 0/0 mutant creature in addition to its other types. And then for 10 colorless mana and tap, sacrifice Pizza Face, you gain 15 life. I was unaware of this card's existence until this very moment. And I had looked at the set, and I, for whatever reason, didn't see this card. Pretty funny. All right. Next up is Path of Ancestry from the Commander slot, non-foil. Into Pizza Land Mountain again. And our first rare is Wrath and Leo, Sibling Rivals. 3 for 2/4. When Wrath and Leo attacks, if it's the first combat phase of the turn, untap 1 or 2 attacking creatures. After this phase, there is an additional combat phase. 3 mana potential additional combat phase for a 2/4. It's gonna have a body that's actually gonna be able to survive a combat potentially and get you another combat. I think it's a solid card. Next up, we have Rat King Verminster, which I think is probably going to be a go-to. I think this Rat King might end up being a go-to Rat Commander, certainly part of the 99. So extended art, non-foil Rat King. Ooh, looks like we got a foil source material. What do we got? What do we got? Oh no, it's even better. Let's go. Let's go. Pixel art, Raphael. I think I just pulled a muscle. I'm not going to lie. I think I just pulled the muscle. I was so excited right then. I think I just pulled the muscle. That is, yo, that's what we're talking about. As I mentioned, I think the hit rate, so the pixels, I think there's 15 of them, and I think there's either, I'm going to mix up 7 rares and 8 mythics or 8 rares and 7 mythics. Either way, the chances of pulling one and having it be the mythic are extra small. That is a really big hit. We're going to sleeve that right now. That is the exact kind of hit you want to see from one of these boxes. Like if you're like, hey, like what's my short list of hits? Pixel art Surge Foil is going to be one of them. That is absolutely beautiful. Ooh. Y'all see that? How we doing out there now, chat? Pixel art, Raphael, the muscle. Let's go. Oh, and by the way, hiding behind that was our source material, and that's Ash Coat, which is a huge reprint. I didn't realize until like a couple of days ago that the Ash Coat, because it's from Jumpstart 2022, it's like a $70 card. So a reprint, and you can actually pick out, now you can get a foil version of it potentially, but obviously if you're playing Ash Coat, like I think Splinter is just the way to go. So that's another really big hit, and then we conclude this pack. We got another mythic back here. Yeah, what is this pack? What is this pack? Japanese Foil Showcase Super Shredder. What are we doing? What are we doing? I have to resist the urge because like when I'm normally filming, I'm just in my own room. I can run around and scream. Like I can't get up and run around and scream here. So I'm really fighting to stay in my seat, but this pack is insanity. Oh my goodness. That just happened. I think Super Shredder is kind of busted. So for you who might out there be a little unfamiliar, he's 2 for a 1/1 with Menace. He's got the Menace. Whenever another target permanent leaves the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Super Shredder. It doesn't say your permanents. It doesn't say one or more permanents. It is whenever a permanent leaves, it triggers your opponent's stuff, your stuff. And something that came up from a rules aspect, somebody asked, like, if this card is in Commander and one of your opponents dies, when they pick up all their cards, does that trigger? The answer is yes. So if one of your opponents dies and they have to pick up all their 7 lands and their 3 enchantments and their 2 creatures, those all count. Those all trigger Super Shredder. So I think this card is actually like legitimately constructed, playable, and insane. And that is a Japanese Foil Showcase. And that pack had, goodness gracious, just all the things. So we hit a pixel art Raph. We hit Ash Coat, and then we hit a Japanese Foil Showcase Super Shredder in that pack. That's a certifiably bananas pack. This box was pretty tame until then. Like I call it what it is, right? The box was, I was like, like there's some okay stuff in here. We're doing okay. Now this box is awesome, and we still got 5 packs left. It's the longest box opening ever, I know, but as I mentioned, we're gonna slow roll it. We're gonna have a good time, and we're gonna open up some fire stuff. Mission accomplished. All right. Oh, this pack just want to fight me a little bit. Here we go. Manhole Missile. Bebop. Warthog Warrior. So I saw Rocksteady earlier, so I'll shout out Bebop here. 5 for 5/4. Menace. Rhinos you control have Menace, and then it's a Swamp Cycler as well. I love green-black as a color combination, and me being able to play Bebop and Rocksteady, it might be something I venture towards this weekend at pre-release. Pain 101. Foot Headquarters. Mouser Foundry. April, Reporter of the Weird. Isn't it weird? Metalhead. Shredder's Technique. Really cool. Look at the art. I gotta say, like, again, obvious bias here from me because I love the property, I love the IP, but I think they kind of crushed it with this stuff. And then a Cultivate in the as a Surge Foil uncommon from that uncommon or common commander slot. I said uncommon, it's common. Surge Foil Cultivate, though, that's kind of cool. Into our Pizza Land Forest. Now into the hits here. So this first is going to be a traditional foil, rare or mythic. We have a rare. It is Turtle Power. Turtle Power, 3 for a 2/2 flat, or 3 for enchantment that has flash, and then turtles you control get +2/+2. Into Ray Fillet, Wave Warrior from the commander deck. Next up, we have Michelangelo Weirdness 211 in, I think that's the scene art. Really cool. I think Michelangelo as a 2-drop is actually pretty good as well. I like the card a lot, like, as in I want to play with that card. Next up, source material. It is, oh, it's a good one. It's a good one. It's another really good one. That is All Will Be One. Last Ronin. All Will Be One is like $30. Again, I don't know what this copy will be, but the current printing of All Will Be One is like, so when I say like, when I was like, hey, like the bonus sheet in this set is really, really strong. There's 20 bonus, there's only 20 cards on it, and most of them are hits. Like, there you go. I would say legitimately like probably half the bonus sheet is our bangers. All right, last card of this pack. It is a Shark Shredder Killer Clone, which is kind of an interesting card. 4/4/4/4. It's actually sneak 5, so the sneak costs more than the regular, but it's got first strike, and then whenever Shark Shredder deals combat damage to a player, put up to 1 target creature card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It enters tapped and attacking, which is really weird because sneak has to happen before damage, right? But then declare attackers, so it works because it's got first strike. So if you sneak it in, you deal first strike damage, and then before any of your other attackers, before you conclude combat, you pull something onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking, and it will get to deal regular damage along with the rest of it. Interesting card. All right. How are we doing out there? Yeah, they did. I agree, Typhoon. They did such a good job choosing that art. Like, I think just like all the feels, right? All the feels. All right. 4 packs left. Moving right along here. High Flying Ace, Ragamuffin Raptor, Rock Soldiers, not Rock Lobster, Soldiers, Mouser Mark III, Raphael Tough Turtle, Old Hob Alley Cat Blues. Is that one of the scenes or one of the levels from Turtles in Time, Alley Cat Blues? I think so. Bespoke Bow, Henchbots, and another command tower, this time as a non-search flow, just a regular old common command tower. Gonna get into our Pizza Land here. It is an island, little island. We have a mythic. We have a mythic from the traditional foil spot. What do we got going on here? That is, that is another Super Shredder. That's our second Super Shredder of the box because we already hit the Japanese foil showcase. Yeah, I'll take that all day long. I think this card is, again, pretty busto. This and Krang are like my 2 top favorite mythics from the set. And there's some other really good ones in there, but how do you not want this Super Shredder? So good. Next up, Wave Goodbye from the commander slot into Michelangelo's Technique in the sewer treatment. And, oh, foil source material. All right, here we go. It is Rhythm of the Wild in the foil source material. It's a solid reprint. Like, it's probably not going to be one of the bangers, right? Not going to be one of the big value pulls, I don't think. But Rhythm of the Wild is undeniably a very strong card. And then our last card of this pack is a Raphael's Technique in the Sewer Treatment foil, which is interesting. It's a sneak 3, right? Each player may discard their hand and draw 7 cards. So it's like an optional Wheel of Fortune. Then we got our art card there. But our second Super Shredder of the box, and the real news is that we had this really ridiculous pack at one point. What do we have? So in theory, we've pulled 2 of the foil source material. So we might still have one at large in these final 3 packs. But we had a source material, or we had a pack that had a pixel art Raphael in it, and a Splinter, which is Ash Coat, and then the foil Japanese Showcase Super Shredder in the same pack, which is a pretty ridiculous pack. All right, here we go. What do we got going on? Here we go. Rocksteady Crash Courser. We talked about Rocksteady already. Putrid Pals. Anchovy and Banana Pizza. Seeing some reprints here. Some repeats. Uneasy Alliance. Foot Ninjas. Turtle Blimp. Hey, did you guys ever have the Turtle Blimp as a toy? This is one of the things I didn't have. I had like a lot of the action figures. I had the van. I had the pizza thrower thing. I had the hovercraft cruiser car. That was the bad guy car. But I never had the Technodrome, and I never had the blimp. But I did have the module thing, the thing that would pop up from the ground. But I never had the blimp. Mighty Mutanimals. Shredder Unrelenting. Actually, as far as an uncommon is concerned, Shredder Unrelenting is sneaky good, pun intended. Marauding Mutagen is a uncommon commander card. And we got another Pizza Land. I feel like this is a Surge Foil Pizza Land, though. Surge Foil Pizza Plains. It's kind of neat. I feel like we should be due for another rooftop. We've only hit, one rooftop in this box? Are they the rare ones? I thought the pizza ones would be the rare ones, but I guess maybe the rooftop lands are actually the rare ones, huh? All right, here we go. Foil, rare, or mythic. It is a rare. It is Madame Null Power Broker. Into a Roadkill Rodney from the Commander deck. It's got Squad. Next up is Mole Module. Hey, I was just talking about this. This is a Surge Foil Mole Module, by the way. 5 for a 6/6 Manache. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, mill 4 cards. You may put a permanent card from among them onto the battlefield. Crew 2. I definitely had that toy as well. That's a Surge Foil one, though. That's really sweet. And then our source material is Rhythm of the Wild, this time in the non-foil. And then we conclude this pack with a Improvised Arsenal Extended Art Foil. Just like a cranial plating light, I guess, right? All right, 2 packs left in this first box. And I think we can more than officially say that we are not disappointed in this box. Double Super Shredder and a pixel art. Living the dream. All right, here we go. 2 packs left. Crustacean Commando into Foot Elite. Manhole Missile. Bebop Warthog Warrior. Pain 101 again, sure. Mona Lisa Science Geek. So as far as an uncommon is concerned, I was looking at this card earlier. 3 for a 1/3 with reach, whatever. Tap to add mana of any one color where X is Mona Lisa's power. As far as an uncommon is concerned, like when we have the rare that was like the Bovine where it's 3, tap to add 2 mana, I was like, I mean, you could inflate Mona Lisa's power and tap this for, it's also 3 mana, and you could tap this for 5, 6, 7 mana if you can get the power up that high, right? Pretty solid uncommon. Wingnut, Bat on the Belfry. Was Wingnut and Screwloose? Is that what the 2 of them were? Bat Mutant. Next up, The Last Ronin's Technique. Into Thriving Isle. A lot of thrivings. And Pizza Land is The Plains. Slash. Hey, so traditional foil slash reptile rampager. 5 for a 7/5 with Alliance. Whenever another creature you control enters, Slash deals 2 damage to each opponent. Solid. Solid stats as well, 5 for 7/5, and then whenever slash attacks, create a 2/2 red mutant creature token, which is of course going to trigger his alliance ability as well. So he's like self-powering his damage out as well. It's a solid rare. Next up, we have Hinterland Harbor, which is, it's a playable commander land. I don't mind seeing that as far as like a land in the commander deck. It's really cool that they put things like Undergrowth Stadium in it. We pulled I think a Surge Foil, one of those earlier. Next up, our source material. Oh, no, it's not source material. Sorry. It is our sewer treatment, Raph and Mikey, which is pretty cool. This one is 7 for 7/7 trample haste. Whenever Raph and Mikey attack, reveal from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card on the battlefield, tapped and attacking, and the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. So if you can like manipulate the top of your library to put whatever, ginormous creature on top, and then you can swing with your 7/7 trample haste, you can really do some damage there. Pretty cool card. All right, source material. It is Path to Exile. Probably one of the more like womp womp, just because Path has been. I love the art on it. Don't get me wrong, but Path's been created like 1,000,001 times at this point. It's been reprinted. Last hit of this pack. It is a Raph and Leo Sibling Rivals, which is a 3-mana 2/4. This is the additional combat phase. Yep, there's the sewer treatment foil version of it though. Pretty sweet. Last pack of this first box opening here. Oh, I should add that gold stamped art card, Krang. It's kind of cool. We are through one whole box here, and Fallen Empires chat is still running rampant through the chat. All right. Last pack of this first box here. Here we go. Stockman, Mad Fly Scientist. Science. Buzzbots. April O'Neil. Kunoichi Trainee. Probably butchered that. Zoo Escapees. Janika, Bad Apple Big Sister. Novel Nunchaku. Fugitive Droid as an uncommon. Into Janika's Technique. Is that the second one of those we pulled? This in the scene art version. And Cultivate, non-foil, non-surge foil, into, hey, there's another rooftop, finally. Surge foil rooftop mountain. So that must be, the pizza lands must be the more common ones, and the rooftop arts are the harder to pull ones, which means those surge foils are actually going to, probably worth a few bucks as well. All right, Prehistoric Pet is our first rare of this particular pack. Traditional foil, Prehistoric Pet. Next up, we have a Krang, the all-powerful from the commander deck. Krang's pretty good. It's not the Utrom Warrior, but it's still pretty good. Turtle Power in the extended art, non-foil. Source material. Is it foil? It is a foil. It is Leo's Katana, which is also known as Sword of Sinew and Steel. Really, really sharp pull there. Beautiful art. Well done. And it is our third. So we've hit our requisite 3 foil source materials. Last hit of this first box. It is a Turtle Van extended art foil. Interesting. So quick debrief on this first box. Obviously the highlights are high. The highlights are very high. 6 Mythics is interesting, but boy, if you're going to hit a pixel art and double Super Shredder with one of those being a Japanese foil showcase, you're in business. You are in business. We are going to move some of this stuff aside as we get into box number 2 here. Let's see here.
Did you sleeve all of them?
No. I sleeved. What do you?
We usually have to sleeve them and then we'll throw them in the hub box so they stay separated.
Yep. Okay. So what if I put these off to the side and then we sleeve them afterwards? That work for you guys?
That's fine. Yeah,
okay.
As long as they're separated.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll make sure that we keep them all separate so that we know which is going to which location. So as I mentioned, these were all being opened up for the hub. So if you are playing at a pre-release, a Many Realms pre-release this weekend, and you're playing at the hub, these cards are going to go in the pool that could be pulled as your singles pool. So if you complete the side quests that they have, you get a chance to open up, some enter you into a raffle for a box, some give you an additional play booster pack, and then some say single pull. And these cards will all be included in the single pool pile. So it could be a common or uncommon, but it also could be a pixel art Raphael the Muscle, which is... All right, we're going to move these out of the way here, and we're getting into box number 2. Again, I appreciate if y'all are out there still hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all to the moon and back. Thank you guys so much. We're going to move these off to the side. And we'll make sure we sleeve up the good stuff. I already sleeve up the best of the best. We'll make sure we sleeve up the other good stuff before all is said and done. But we want to get into box number 2. There we go. All right, so this is going to the hub. We'll put that right there. All right. Y'all ready for box number 2? Should we do the thing? How we doing out there, chat? Got to keep them separated. Not wrong. Yeah, that pack was really bananas, right? Like that's like the dream pack right there. When you pull a pixel art mythic and then a Japanese foil showcase, and it's a really good card, and the source material pulled is like also bonkers. All right, box number 2. This is going to the arena location. There we go. I was like, come on. So everything in this one will go towards the pre-release. I should have done the first box. I'm playing at the arena location. I mean, this one's for the that's the one with the pixel art. That one's going to the arena. No. This one's going to the arena location. So I have already signed up for a bunch of pre-release events at the arena location. That is where I will be hanging out this weekend. I signed up for, I think, all 3 on Friday, and then I'll be probably getting in on 1, maybe 2 on Saturday as well. So you might see me trolling around there. Let's see what kind of stuff I open for that location, for the arena location. Here we go. Box number 2. Now that we got a feel for the packs, we're gonna start flying through the commons and uncommons. We'll get to mostly the good stuff here. I think we have a pretty good feel for the pack layout, the commons and the uncommons. It's a smaller set, so you start seeing the repetition pretty quickly here. All right. Here we go. So what do we want in this box then, right? We already hit the pixel art. I mean, headliner that's a drop what I'm doing, right? But I guess fracture foil would be a real living the dream there, especially in 2 boxes. You should average 1 fracture foil. They're not easy to pull. Essentially like a 1% pull rate. So you're talking 1 out of every 100 packs. They're like, what is that, 1.83 boxes or something like that? They're not easy pulls. But we said that about the pixel arts. They're about 1 in every 4, little over 4 boxes, and we hit one. So here we go. High Flying Ace, Ragamuffin Raptor, Bebop, Warthog Warrior, Manhole Missile, Raphael Tough Turtle, Turtle Lair. I do like Turtle Lair, by the way. If you're unfamiliar with this card as an uncommon, tap for colorless, tap to add 1 mana of any color, spend this mana only to cast Ninja or Turtle spell, and then 3 mana and tap target Ninja or Turtle can't be blocked. Pretty good for either of those decks. Paramecia Colonex again. First of the scene cards is April, Reporter of the Weird. We saw that in the first box. Into Arcane Signet. Hey, there's cool. It's got the little turtle comp. Arcane Signet. I see what they did there. All right. Now we hit our Pizza Land. Yeah, all right. And first rare mythic of this box is going to be a rare. It is Raph and Mikey Troublemakers. We saw that. That's the 7 for the 7/7 Trample Haste. It's a traditional foil. Next up, we have a Spire Garden. See, this is a good example of another really like them adding value to the commander decks. Having a crowd land in there, Spire Garden, that's not nothing. Like actually having a solid mana base in the commander decks, not something we see a lot. All right. Ooh, is this Surge Foil? No. Oh, it is Surge Foil. Yeah, it's double jump and flying kick. Little Surge Foil fuse card there. That's kind of cool. All right. And then our first source material is a foil. It is Silverclad Ferocidons, which is 7 for an 8/5 creature dinosaur. Enrage. Whenever this creature is dealt damage, each opponent sacrifices a permanent of their choice. That is a mean card, and that is a foil source material right off the rip. That's not bad. That's a solid reprint. Our last card of this first pack. It is a Toka and Razar. Toka and Razar, terrible 2s. Again, I just recently watched The Secret of the Use, and there we go. So it's the sewer treatment. I actually think this card is pretty good as well. So it's 2 hybrid mana for Rakdos mana, 3/2, spell can't be countered, big. It's got menace, so it's got evasion, and then whenever a player casts a spell, if the amount of mana spent to cast it was less than its mana value, Toka and Razar deals 3 damage to that player. I think this is actually a pretty good card, and I love the art on it. Again, I feel like they knocked it out of the park in the sewer treatment art. All right. There's fracture foils in the set too. There are fracture foils. So there's 10 Japanese foil showcase cards in the set. And you're going to average about 1 per box there. Thankfully, in Laurel, when they fixed it, so they're all in English now. If they're in English boxes, if they're Japanese boxes, then they're all Japanese. If they come out of English boxes, the language will be all English. But there's 10 Japanese foil showcases, and there are fracture foils. And oh my gosh, it would be so spicy if we pulled one. So spicy. All right, here we go. Stockman, Uneasy Alliance, Putrid Pals, all stuff we've seen at this point. All right, West Wind Avatar. I actually do think that's a good card as an uncommon. Featherbrain Filter, Novel Nunchaku. Ash Barrens is our commander card. Pizza Land is a swamp. First rare mythic is a traditional foil rare. It is Ravenous Robots. Ravenous Robots is good. 2 for a 2/1 artifact creature robot, so it's Mousers, right? Whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 colorless robot artifact creature token, and then tap 1 red and tap creature tokens you control gain haste until end of turn. This is, I feel like a card, like especially if you're playing Chrome Dome or some of the other like artifact matter stuff. This card feels like it could want to kind of go off. It's a solid rare for a 2-drop. All right, next up, we have Ravenous Robots in the extended art, because why not? Right? They're ravenous and they're robots. Next up, we have oh, we pulled another pixel art. Let's go. Let's go. This just ensures the boxes I open for myself are going to be absolute trash, right? That is Krang the All-Powerful. Wow, it's a rare. It's not one of the mythics. Doesn't matter. They're still insanely hard to pull. We love it. And by the way, these pixel arts look so clean. Surge foil pixel art. Let's go. POA says streamer boxes confirmed. But they're not even for me. That's not even for me. Oh, wait. But this is for the arena location, which I'll be playing at. All right, Redemption Arc. Redemption Arc. Next up was, by the way, not a throwaway, was Teleportation Circle as the source material. And then we conclude this pack with a Southwind Avatar Extended Art Foil. 4 for 3/4 Death Touch. Whenever another creature you control dies, you gain life equal to its toughness. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses life. That's a solid card. Not bad. Not bad. I'm going to show off that Krang one more time. I think these pixel arts look so good. They look so clean. This is, yeah. Yeah, Ezra said the pixel arts are what are really swaying me on this product. I mean, I was already in on this product, but when I saw that there was going to be pixel arts, and then I saw what they were, and then I was like, oh, they're surge foils. I was like, you're just doing all the things right there. All right. Next pack. 2 boxes, 2 pixel arts. That is a unbelievable batting average on that. Here we go. All right, Crustacean Commando. Actually, that might be the first time I've seen that card. Foot Elite, Rocksteady, Pain 101 again, Janika, Courier as our uncommon. Go Ninja Go. Again, my piles killing me. There we go. Go Ninja Go. Leonardo, Leader in Blue. Baby Leonardo. Into it's another Ash Barrens. This time it is Surge Foil. A little Surge Foil. So I feel like that's a bonus. Into a Surge Foil Mountain Rooftop Treatment. Very nice. Again, those are apparently the hits, so as far as the lands are concerned. So I feel like those are actually going to carry a little bit of value to them as well. Here we go. First rare mythic. It is a rare. It is Southwind Avatar, because why not? It is a small set, right? Next up, we have Vanquish the Horde. Oh yeah, Commander reprint. Sure, Vanquish the Horde. It's a good one. Next up, Krang and Shredder. Actually, I think Krang and Shredder. So this is, I think, one of the scene treatments. This is Krang and Shredder, and I think this card's pretty good as well. So 6 for a 6/7. Whenever Krang and Shredder enter or attack, each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. Disappear. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent left the battlefield under your control this turn, you may cast a card exiled with Krang and Shredder without paying its mana cost. That is a solid card there. Next up, we have our source material. This one is going to be Umezawa's Jite again. Raph's Jite. Very nice. And then we conclude this pack with a, ooh, it's a mythic. It is April O'Neil Hacktivist in the Japanese foil showcase. April O'Neil. I don't think April's going to be one of the bigger hits, but the Japanese foil showcases are all welcome here, in my opinion. Not bad. Not bad at all. Clearly not super shredder, but not going to thumb my nose at that either. All right. All right. Well, Pixel card and a Japanese full showcase are our we haven't even hit a regular mythic yet. A lot of ball game left. A lot of ball game left. All right, here we go. We're moving on. Rooftop lands, yep. All right. Here we go. Oops. We've got anchovy and bananas pizza, zoo escapees, buzzbots, Foot Headquarters, April O'Neil, Baxter Stockman as an uncommon. All things we've seen at this point. Shredder Unrelenting. And Janika's Technique. I feel like it's like the third time we've seen the Janika's Technique in the, at least the second time in the scene version. And Thriving Isle. I know that they're just putting like, it's like a commander slot where it's going to be an uncommon or a common, but maybe they could have left out the Thriving lands from that, right? I don't think anybody would have missed that. All right, Pizza Land is a Plains. First rare or mythic is it is Ground Chuck and Dirtbag, which I think this card's pretty strong as well. So, 6 mana, 8/8 trample. I remember when that used to be, what, Force of Nature, and there was a huge downside on it. This is all upside. 6 for an 8/8 trample, and then whenever you tap a land for mana, add green. That seems not bad, right? Pretty good. Pretty good. Next up, Big Mother Mouser. Oh, yeah. 4 for 0/0. This creature enters with 2 counters on it. 2+1/+1 counters. Whenever this creature attacks, double the number of counters on it. And then whenever this creature dies, create a number of colorless robot artifact creature tokens equal to the number of 1/1 counters on it. Just begging to be doubled and doubled and doubled. That's the commander slot. So that's from the commander deck. Next up, we hit another Toka and Razar. Terrible 2s, this time in the non-foil version of the sewer treatment. And source material is a Cytoplast Manipulator. We've seen one of those. And then we conclude with a Transdimensional Bovine in the extended art foil. Probably not anything to write home about there. What did I put the GT over in that pile? I don't know. There we go. All is well. Crazy. So we've hit April, who's a mythic by de facto because she's Japanese full showcase. Krang Pixel. And yet, without mythics otherwise. That means we're due. Is this product everything you wanted? Wildcat MTG? It really is. Like, the fact that like they had so much of the set accidentally spoiled because the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards were included accidentally in like a lot of the Lore 1 pre-release kits takes a little bit of like some of like the luster off of it. But as I was going through it, I was like, man, I think this set is genuinely good. Like, there's some good cards. So we got to see all the rares and mythics ahead of time, which kind of is a little bit of like a letdown. But then when they finally got to show off the borderless treatments and the sewer treatments the other day, when they were doing like, hey, like here's the rest of it, here's the uncommons and commons, and here's all the cool treatments. I saw the sewer treatments, and when I saw like the pixel art and stuff, I was like, that is like just crushing it. When I saw the Japanese full showcases, like this is hitting a home run for me. All right, Mouser Foundry, Stockman, Uneasy Alliance. I feel like those go back to back a lot. Putrid Pals, sure. Skateboard, not bad. Splinter, Hamato Yoshi. Actually, it might be the first time we've seen that as an uncommon. Ray Fillet, Marauding Mutagen as an uncommon. We've had like 3 of him. One of them I think was a Surge foil. All right, Pizza Land is a Forest. Rare is our third Toka and Razar of the box. Listen, I think it's a really good card. I wasn't necessarily looking for a playset in the same box, though. Again, not a bad card, though. Here we go. Next card. It is a Leatherhead Iron Gator from Commander. 7 for 5/5 trample haste, and whenever Leatherhead attacks, put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. Northampton Farm. I think this is the... I think Northampton Farm is the only rare land in the set. There might be one more. I think it's the only one. It's kind of cool though. Like if you're not familiar with, there's a old card called Safe Haven. And this reminds me very much of that in what it does. It's a kind of a nice little way to save a creature from a board wipe. Maybe even one that you intend to cast and then bring it back later. All right, next up, I think we're at source material. We are. It is. Oh, let's go. This is a really good one. Donnie's Bow, otherwise known as Shadow Spear in the foil version source material. Foil Shadow Spears are welcome here all day, every day. That is a really good hit for us. Very nice. Next up, last card of this pack is a Ground Chuck and Dirtbag again, but this time in the sewer treatment, the foil sewer treatment. Again, I think it's a quality card. All right. And then our Krang and Shredder art card there. Last pack of this first half of the box. Solid box so far. The first box was going to be hard to top, but the fact that we got another pixel card is bananas. Now we hit a Shadow Spear. What we are strangely missing is Mythics. But wouldn't it be cool if we hit another Japanese foil showcase? Like, it is possible. Or Fractured foil. Here we go. Last pack of this first half. Mutant Town Musicians. Frog Butler. Make your move. Purple Dragon Punks. Omni Cheese Pizza. Yes, please. All right. Michelangelo Mutant BFF as our uncommon. So uncommon Mikey. Shredder's Technique, which is also, I think, kind of a solid card as an uncommon is concerned. Michelangelo, this time in the kitty treatment. Harmonize. Hey, Harmonize is a Surge foil version of it, though. Kind of cool. And our Pizza Land is an island. Now, rare or mythic from the traditional foil slot is a... Ooh, oh, let's go. There we go. Now we're hitting the mythics we wanted. That is Krang, Utrom, Warlord. And this card is pretty insane. Like, again, I might have mentioned this before. I like reanimating things out of the graveyard. That is cheating things into play and then swinging and smashing opponent face with giant creatures is my love of the game. Krang is a 9 for a 9/9 legendary artifact creature. This is an artifact creature, but flying, trample, indestructible, haste, and then other artifacts you control also have flying, trample, indestructible, and haste. This card is insanity. I'll sleeve that up in just a moment here. Next up, we have Assassin's Trophy from the Commander slot, followed by Savante Romero times Exile, this time in the extended art non-foil. Source material is a Undercity Sewers. We did hit one of those in the first box. This one also non-foil. Very good card. And we conclude this pack with a Ravenous Robots in the extended art foil, followed by our art card. We are going to sleeve up Krang real quick. That is a very good card. And I have many uses for this card. That is 1,000% going, a copy is going in my Indominus Rex Alpha deck. All right, second half of the box. Where are all the mythics? Solrina, I feel like you finally summoned one for us. We'll give you credit for that one. You did it. You did it, my friend. All right. Here we go. Second half of the box. Action News Crew. Kind of a cute little tip of the cap here. It's 2 for a 2/2 Vigilance. I don't think we've seen this common yet. And it's got Channel 6, as in Channel 6 News. So it's got the channel ability. For 6 mana, you can discard the card, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and draw a card. I thought that was clever. It's well done, Watsy. Zog, Triceraton Castaway. Might be the first time we've seen Zog tonight. Tenderize. Yeah, I feel like, hey, look, more cards we haven't seen yet. Dimension X. Into Foot Ninjas. We saw this earlier as the scene card Foot Ninjas. Uncommon Pizza Face Gastromancer. Into Bespoke Bow. And a Old Hob Alley Cat Blues. And our common is a Command Tower from the Commander slot. Pizza Land is a Forest. Yep, but I guess there are Surge foil versions of that, so those are probably pretty rare pulls as well. Here we go. Traditional foil, rare or mythic. It is a rare. It is Bebop and Rocksteady. I don't think we've seen this particular pairing tonight yet, as far as the rare version is concerned. I'll hold it up there. I actually think this card has a chance to see constructed play as well. It's 3 mana for a 7/5, so automatically insane stats. There's got to be a drawback, right? And there is. Sort of. Whenever Bebop and Rocksteady attack or block, sacrifice a permanent unless you discard a card. Sacrifice a permanent or discard a card. Both of those things could actually be things that you want to be doing. So set 3 for a 7/5 where the drawback is maybe actually not even a drawback is strong. Next up, Agent Bishop, Man in Black. Agent Bishop is kind of a messed up card as far as like limit is concerned. 3 for a 1/2. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. Feels like if you don't have a way to remove that, your opponent is going to run away with the game very, very quickly. Next up, Krang, Mastermind. This in the sewer treatment. We saw this in the foil version earlier in the first box. Next up, source material. It is another really good one. That is another copy of Ashcoat. Don't mind seeing that. This one is going to the arena location. The first one was for the hub box, so now we have one for the arena location. Ashcoat, very, very good card. And we conclude this one. Ooh. Ooh. I saw it. I saw it. Let it be. Krang Utrom Warlord, second Japanese foil showcase of the box, and it is a darn good one. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Let's go. That is, hey guys, can we just cut this off and pretend like these are my boxes? Wait, this is a live stream? All right. Oh, so good. So if you're going to be mythic deficient, when you start pulling mythics, if you're just going to pull bangers, it makes up for it, right? You just do that. You just pull all the good ones. Easy game. Krang is such a busted card, and I love that mech-looking Voltron version. Okay. All right. Well, we got ourselves a good second box now, don't we? Oh, my goodness gracious. Here we go. All right, Stomp by the Foot, Mouser Mark, Rock Soldiers, Mutant Town, and High Flying Ace as our commons. We hit Turtle Blimp, Metalhead, and Shredder Unrelenting in the scene card version. I like that the scene cards are so prominent. Again, there are 3 scenes to complete, so if you're that kind of person that wants to put the actual art piece together, they are, at least it feels like they're prevalent enough where you can actually feasibly do it, which is cool. All right, Harmonize. A lot of Harmonize. Sure, why not? This time in the non-foil, non-surge foil version. Next up, oh, Rooftop. Ooh, yeah, that looks good. Rooftop Island in the surge foil. I wasn't super sold on them originally, but they look really clean in person too. These Surge Foil Island rooftop cards look really good. All right, rare or mythic, traditional foil. It is a rare, and it is cool but rude. Another card that I think has tremendous opportunity to see actual constructed play, particularly since there's already a shell for it. There's already a good fit for it. In terms of it being like the Is It Lessons deck or whatever, I think Cool But Rude is actually quite good. Next up, we have Rootbound Crag, another reprint from the Commander deck, and another value land that they put in there. Rootbound Crag is solid. It's not like a runaway, but at least I think it's like a solid mana base, right? Next up, we have a Hinterland Harbor, and this time in the Surge Foil version of it. That's kind of cool. Surge Foil Hinterland Harbor. Don't mind that. And I think next up is our source material. It is, oh, Doubling Season. Yo, that's a good hit. Doubling Season. It's been reprinted a lot, but it's still a really good card, and it's still a good value hit. And, I mean, chef's kiss on the art selection, right? Not totally sure what it has to do with Doubling Season, but so what? Last hit of this pack. It is Mikey and Dawn, Party Planners. This is our Mikey and Dawn duo rare card. This is 4 for a 3/3, so it's Simic Hybrid. It's got Ward 2, which is nice. It's a little low statted, but I think the Ward 2 makes up for it. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may play land cards and cast Mutant, Ninja, or Turtle spells from the top of your library. If you cast a creature spell this way, that creature enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. I think that's a cool one, and I really like it. Like I said earlier, I think the fact that they did a duo for each one of them is really, really nice. I enjoy that. Okay. Here we go. All right. We got what? Counting the one in my hand, 4 packs left in this dual box opening. We've got Foot Mystic. Looks like we got some new life here. Eastwind Avatar as far as the common. Slithering Cryptid. Negate. Leonardo Big Brother. Mona Lisa Science Geek. We talked about that card earlier. I think this card's pretty good as far as an uncommon is concerned. Last Ronin's Technique. Karai's Technique in the Scene card foil version. Kind of neat. Thriving Grove. And Pizza Land is an island. Mythic. It is a rare. It is the Ooze. 2-mana legendary artifact. Whenever creature you control enters with +1/+1 counter, leaves the battlefield, create a mutagen token for each +1/+1 counter on it, and then you can tap to exile target card from a graveyard, create a mutagen token. So it's like a little bit of a graveyard hate card too. So you can hold down the graveyard and also create some mutagen tokens for you. Solid 2-mana artifact. Not quite Agatha's Soul Cauldron, but it's good. Tempestra, Dame of Games from the Commander slot. Followed by Weathermaker in the extended art non-foil. All right, next up we have our source material. It is a foil. What do we got going on here? It is, Trouble in Pairs. More gas. Trouble in Pairs is a really good reprint. What were these up to? Somebody help me out. These were what? Trouble in Pairs was up to like 30 plus, right? So we don't know what the source material version will go for, right? But as far as like a baseline to compare it to, Trouble in Pairs, foil source material, a very good card and a cool art. Last hit of this pack, that is a really good one. Last hit is a Krang and Shredder. We just saw this as an art card. This is such a weird pairing to me, but here we are. We've talked about the card. There is the sewer treatment foil version of it. It's kind of goofy. 3 packs left. All right. All right, Ragamuffin Raptor, Bebop, Manhole Missile, Crustacean Commando, and we've got another Janika, Bad Apple, Big Sister as far as the scene cards are concerned. Fugitive Droid. Is that the droid you're looking for? That's a later set? It's a different set? Okay. Mighty Mutanimals. Raphael, most Attitude. And Commander card is another Thriving because why not? All right, Pizza Land is a forest. Next up, Rare Mythic. It is a rare. It is Donatello Gadget Master. So there's the rare Donnie pack foil version. Next up, we have Shredder Shadow Master. This is a good card from Commander. I'm gonna hold it up there. You can pause it. You can read it. It is it's basically Shredder with Myriad, and if he hits you, your opponent loses half their life. Next up, we have Raphael the Night Watcher. That is the sewer treatment version. Next up, we have our source material after that, and it is going to be, wow, I don't mind that. Doubling up on Trouble in Pairs. This one, the non-foil version, that is more gas. And our final hit of this pack is the Ooze in the extended art foil. 2 packs left. So what's really funny is obviously the bonus sheet has provided us all sorts of juice. And actually, I would say, all 3 of the foils from the source material are all what I would call bangers. And then you look over here at our mythics, and you're like, there is some good stuff going on here. And you're like, wait, there is one regular mythic that is not a Japanese foil showcase. Technically, the pixels are rare. So there's 2 packs left, and we are at 1 base copy mythic. Base set mythic, technically, that is not a Japanese foil showcase. Interesting. All right. Guac and Marshmallow Pizza, Stomp by the Foot, Mouser Mark III, Rock Soldiers, Mutant Town as our commons. Uncommons, Karai, Future of the Foot, Wingnut Bat on a Belfry, Lessons from Life, another good one. Into, hey, it's a Thriving, but this time it's at least a search foil. Hooray, hooray. Pizza Land. Pizza Land is a Swamp. And traditional foil, rare is April O'Neil, Hacktivist. So again, that's why it's like, oh, it's technically the Japanese full kit showcase is a mythic because there's only 10 of them and they up the rarity, but she's the base version is a rare. Next up, we have Dimension X Pizzasaur. First time we've seen this tonight. Pizzasaur's pretty good. And after that, we have, sure, this time April O'Neil Hacktivist as the sewer treatment. And source material is a Path to Exile. We have seen Path to Exile already. We saw that in box number 1. Can't all be winners. Last hit of this pack is a, oh, that's cool. All right. It is Michelangelo Weirdness 211 in the Showcase foil version. Mikey. Love me, Mikey. All right, last pack of this second box, the last pack of the evening as we conclude our dual box opening of TMNT, our first look at it. What do we got going on here? Saw some bundle box, yep. I intend to open at least one or two of the pizza bundles for myself, if nothing else, just to get the pizza lands out of it. All right, so last pack of this box, all this stuff here I mentioned is going towards potential prize support for the arena during pre-release weekend. There are some good ones up here. Strangely vacant is the mythics are a little empty here. So are we going to have one of those bananas packs where we have like 3 mythics in the same pack? Let's find out as we wrap it up. Here we go. Last pack. Last pack magic? Let's make it so. Come on. All right. Foot Elite, Rocksteady, Path, TCRI, Michelangelo Game Master. So there's the common version of Mikey. Leonardo, Leader in Blue. Janika's Technique. Into Donatello's Technique as the cartoon small version. Vibrant City Lands Cityscape as our commander card. Non-foil. And our pizza land is a mountain. Now, rare or mythic traditional foil. It is a rare. It is Mutagen Man Living Ooze. Next up is Biogenic Ooze from the commander slot. 5 for 2/2. When this creature enters, create a 2/2 Ooze creature token. At the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on each Ooze you control, and then 4 mana, 3 green pips to create an Ooze. Okay, that's solid. It's at least a good mana sink. We do have a mythic. It is Mondo Gecko in the sewer treatment. So we finally hit another mythic, one from the actual set. It is Mondo Gecko from the sewer treatment version, which is kind of neat. Mondo is an interesting card. And then source material is Ronin's Arsenal, which is Conqueror's Flail. And our last hit of this second box here is, it is Prehistoric Pet in the extended art foil. So quick thoughts here as we wrap this thing up here. So interesting. So both boxes had a pixel art. So we're way above the curve on that. Like they're probably 1 in every 4 or 5 boxes. So hitting 2 of them is great. We hit 2 really critical Japanese foil showcases in this 2-box opening. We hit Super Shredder and Inkrang, which are probably, I think, going to end up being 2 very valuable cards. The side is that in the first box, I think we had 6 total mythics. In this one, we had 5, and that's counting the pixel art, because for all intents and purposes, I'm counting it. So the source materials I don't typically count. We did hit a lot of really good source material stuff, and a lot of thoughts out there. For me, I think the set is really, really strong. I think it's way better than Spider-Man. I don't think the 2 are going to be the same, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what cards end up seeing play. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me and the Many Realms team tonight as we did this 2-box opening and got our first look at TMNT. Again, from me to you guys, I appreciate you all coming out, showing support, hanging out in the chat, and thank you all so much. I appreciate you guys, and be well, everybody.